COVID-19 fueling a worldwide wave of Jew hatred, according to new research led by Tel Aviv University. The study is the latest in a string of recent academic articles that note a major increase in anti-Semitism as the virus has overshadowed nearly all other aspects of life, causing unprecedented levels of economic and psychological despair. With me now is Professor Dina Porat, who is the head of the Cantor Center at Tel Aviv University, which just released this shocking new report. Professor, thank you for being with me. I want to ask about this new tide of anti-Semitism. Exactly, thank you. What are these accusations against Jews or against Israel connected to coronavirus?
Well, the accusations have, all of them, have one motive in common. What they are saying basically is that Jews and Israel have invented the virus, have spread it all over. They are, and then there came a terrible economic crisis. The Jews have always, according to the protocols of the Elders of Zion, wished to undermine the world, societies, authorities, administrations, and then take over. And now the accusation is that this is done in order to have a vaccine and a medicine properly invented by Jews and Israelis and sold all over to the sick world who desperately needs the medicine and the vaccination for an enormous profit.
Professor,
here you have it all together.
We'll look now at some of the images, Professor, kind of showing this new wave of anti-Semitism. A lot of these images that we're looking at involving Jews poisoning a well that's used by the general population, or of anti-Semitic figures, tropes of Jewish physical characteristics.
Yes.
These are ancient hatreds and ancient stereotypes. They're being repurposed now for the modern times.
Well, thank you for the question. I think it's a very good one. And indeed, I was trained as a historian. If I look back, there is a whole range of literature that has been written and composed since a few centuries before BC, and then 100, 200 BCs for at least 500 years, and then it spread and was copied, it spread in Europe, saying that the Israeli tribes were driven out of Egypt. They did not go out under the leadership of Moses, etc. They were driven out because they had leprosy, because they were sick with leprosy. They were lepers. This is why they were confined to a certain area and then driven out. And then you have medieval times, the Black Plague, middle of 14th century. You have the accusation of Jews poisoning the wells, and they themselves not hurt, because you know the Jews wash their hands and have all kinds of hygiene habits. They are not, which means that they are poisoning us.
And Professor, a lot of these images here, you know, they go back to ancient medieval stereotypes against Jews, but they're also involving images that are spreading now on social media, very fast on social media, with people who are protesting against these lockdowns and the shutdowns, and they're blaming Jews.
Yes. Yeah. These images that you are referring to now continue another trend. We had it in antiquity, Middle Ages, and then during the Nazi era. What you are seeing is a comparison to the Holocaust and use and distortion of terms related to the Holocaust. And why is that? Because people today are afraid. There is fear, anxiety, crisis, people losing jobs. God knows what will happen to us tomorrow. And so there is a feeling that this is another Holocaust. The Holocaust has become a symbol of what is worst. And you compare to the worst. So what do they say? We are confined at home, like the Jews in the ghettos. Auschwitz, instead of the known writing over the Auschwitz gate, Arbeit macht frei, it today says vaccination macht frei, which means if you are vaccinated, you can go out. There is a new expression, holocaf, which is made of Holocaust and coughing, which means that there is a Holocaust going on and it is being spread by coughing. There are many other such comparisons to the Holocaust. There is even a sign that has been carried on in a demonstration in the United States, which said bluntly, synagogues are closed, gas chambers are open.
Professor, thank you so much for this report and this eye-opening interview, really, on the correlation now between rising anti-Semitism and libel against Jews and how this correlates to some traditional medieval era anti-Semitism as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Professor.